Alright, what's up YouTube? This is me. It's been a while since I made a YouTube video. And today's video is not the one that I was talking about from the last video. You'll have to wait because it rained last Saturday and you know how the weather is. It's unpredictable. But in this video, I want to talk about, is it good or is it bad for a man to have sex with a dominatrix? Oh yes, you know I have to talk about this in the video. Now, a lot of men are sexually frustrated here in America because, you know, we got feminism and a lot of men don't understand that, you know, you got to have money, looks, and status in that particular order. And a lot of them are wondering, is it okay or is it bad to have sex with a dominatrix? Now, a lot of people might say, what is the definition of a dominatrix? Well, a lot of times you hear terms like master, slave, you hear mistress, you hear stuff like that, right? And you usually see movies like 50 Shades of Grey that, you know, I'm going to say they did a terrible job on trying to explain what that phenomenon is. But if you read the books or you do proper research, you'll find out that it ain't just because, you know, a woman has all the power and all the control. It's also for sexual release. You often at times you hear men say that they have so much power and so much control in our society. You know, men that are a part of the elites, guys that are multi-millionaires and billionaires who want to see someone else have power and control and get off on it. They go to these women that they pay thousands or sometimes millions of dollars to do this. And you sometimes picture in your head, you know, a man is on his knees with a dog collar around his neck and he's eating some pretty disgusting dog food. And the woman is saying, get down on your knees and eat that dog shit. And you see him get down on his knees and he actually eats the dog shit. You're like, this is some sick ass shit. But I've done some research, some real research, and I came to find out it goes a lot deeper in the rabbit hole than you may think. Do you know why some beautiful, highly attractive women have all these sexual fantasies? Do you know where 80 to 85%, sometimes 90% of these sexual fantasies come from? They come from dominatrix. Oh yes, it comes from that. You know, men always talk about, I want to have sex with 2 women, 3 women, 4 women. And those are sexual fantasies that men like. But then you always hear a woman say, I want a man to eat my butt out. I want a man to eat my apple pie out. I want to have sex with 2 men, 3 men, 4 men. Women have sexual fantasies too. It's not just a one-way street. It's a 2-way street. And a lot of times, a lot of people don't want to express what those sexual fantasies are because you're dealing with people that are immature and they're not adults and they cannot be able to handle the description of what someone's sexual fantasies are. Mine is a woman dressing up as Catwoman from the DC Comics of Batman. If you just look at the way they did Catwoman, she's a very strong and very powerful, dominating personality. She's very sexually perverted. She's sometimes very violent and very destructive. And she sometimes is willing to do whatever it takes to put down Batman down for the count. You see this in Batman, that Catwoman is basically a dominatrix. She got the Catwoman leather suit on. She got the whip. She's very violent and sometimes on the borderline of being a sociopath. And some people think that men who have sex with a dominatrix, they must have mental problems. They must be sick in the head. It's not you have mental problems. It's not that you're sick in the head. It's how you express yourself when you have sex. You know, there are women who like to have sex in a car. And I've talked about this in the past videos. You know, there are people that like to have sex at the park, at the beach. There are people that want to have sex in a college classroom. There's people that want to have sex in the water pool. There's people that want to have sex in the elevator. That's usually a woman's sexual fantasy. A man usually want to screw a woman on top of a dryer and turn it on and make the noise, and you banging a girl on top of a washer machine or a dryer. That's usually a man's sexual fantasy. And you see, the reason why a lot of these women have these sexual fantasies is because it comes from Dominatrix. And a lot of these women are usually in their 30s, 40s, mid 50s. And a lot of these men go to these women because the truth is never so simple like it's supposed to be. The truth is that these men don't have no experience with women. A lot of times when you deal with women that have 10, 15, or even 20 years of experience and you don't have enough experience to compete with, a lot of times these men feel embarrassed, ashamed, and humiliated, and sometimes your ego might get destroyed. Oh yeah, every man loves to feel like they're the king of the world. Every man loves to feel like they are the shit. But what happens when you get a woman that has had sex with 15, 20 men and she just straight out opened her mouth and said, I screwed 20 guys in 10 years. Or I had sex with 50 men in 10 years. Then your ego takes a punch to the gut and you ain't the same person no more once you hear that a woman has had sex with 10 men, 20 men, 30 men, 40 men. There are some cases where a woman has had sex with like maybe 60 to like maybe 70 men in a 10-year period in 10 years, that by the time you meet this woman and you fall in love with this woman and you marry this woman and you have kids with this woman, your pride and your ego has been destroyed to the point where you don't know if you can continue on after all the information that you've heard. And that's usually because most men don't have experience with women. And you see in this society, you got multi-billionaires and millionaires that in complete total secrecy, they go to these places like you see in the movie 50 Shades of Grey. They go to these sex parties and they find women with experience to teach them how to be able to compete at a high competitive level sexually. And that's how these guys are able to, if you ever want to know why an older man always takes a young, attractive woman from the age of 18 to 29 away from you. I mean, if you're a younger man that's from the age of 18 to 25 and you want to know why your girlfriend's turned on by older men, it's because older men have more experience. And those older men got all their experience from a woman. See, no one wants to talk about this on YouTube. You know, pickup artists and dating coaches will talk to you until they're blue in the face, until pigs can fly in outer space, but they don't want to talk about the reality. They don't want to talk about the truth. That a lot of older men who are able to have sex with younger women, it is because of the result of messing with older women that was in their 30s, 40s, and 50s and 60s, because once upon a time they tried to date a woman the same age as them when they was 20, 25, and they had no experience with those women. So when they kept running into women that was in their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, and their 60s, they had to learn from older women. So when they got to those same respectable ages, they were now able to pick up younger, attractive women. It ain't just money, looks, and status. It's also years of experience. How should I put this where you can understand this? When you apply for a job, did it ever occur to you that a lot of times jobs don't just want to hire you because you fill out an application and you got a resume? A lot of times they want a cover page, a cover letter, your resume, and fill out the job application. And you do that, and then they ask you, what kind of job experience do you have? And usually you start that, and they go, well, this job here is 40 hours a week. It pays $20 an hour, and I'm looking for someone that knows how to work a computer that's a computer engineer. And judging from your resume, you went to school for like 5 or 6 or 7 years, and you don't have a bachelor's degree, and I'm looking for someone that has a bachelor's degree. Now you've been rejected, right? Well, what do you think the opposite sex does a lot of times? The same exact thing. Women are like going to a job interview, and people ask the billion-dollar question: is it okay to pay for prostitution, or is it not okay to pay for prostitution? And you see, I'm gonna make another YouTube video called "Men Pay for Pussy Whether They Know It or Not," because there's this controversial thing on the internet about, is it okay to pay for sex or is it not okay to pay for sex? Is it okay to go to the nightclub or is it not okay to go to the nightclub? And for that video, I got to interview some people to get back different answers and different feedbacks so we can get the best answer as possible. This video was the answer, is it okay to have sex with a dominatrix? And the answer is yes. I want to say it again. It is okay to have sex with a dominatrix, because you got to ask yourself, where does all these ideas of having sexual fantasies come from? A lot of time it ain't just television and film, it ain't just books. A lot of time you hear this from an older woman. An older woman would say, I want to have sex on the train butt naked, or I want to get screwed in the elevator. And that's how come women are always beating men when it comes to who has the most experience in the bedroom. See, a man could actually get a lot of experience from a woman if he goes to a dominatrix, someone who knows a person inside out. Now, if you try to go to a younger woman to get some experience, then something wrong with you, because younger women can't give you no experience if you don't even have no experience to give. So your younger women come to you because you're older and you have the most experience. See, in the next video, I'm going to make a video called Whose Sex Game is Better? A young man's sex game versus an older man's sex game. I'm going to make that video, and that video is going to come. But yes, I think it's okay to have sex with a dominatrix, because I think you learn more from a dominatrix about yourself and what you can do as far as the opposite sex. Think of a female dominatrix or a mistress as a basketball coach or as a football coach. Somebody who wants you to be the best of the best. Somebody who wants you to learn all you possibly can learn, good and bad, and is going to cuss you out. They're going to tell you when you did something right. They're going to tell you when you did something wrong. See, when you watch movies and television, they always just show one aspect. You know, you got a mental problem, something's wrong with you. But think about it. How many times a woman have straight out told a man, I want to have sex with 2 men, 3 men, 4 men. And you went, what the hell? But how many times you heard a woman say, I want to get a hot dog shoved up my hamburger. And you laugh at it like, get the fuck out of here. And she look at you with a serious look and go, I'm not laughing, I'm serious. And then all of a sudden you go on YouTube or on Instagram and you see a picture of her getting a train run on her. Where do you think all these ideas come from? See, no one wants to talk about this on the internet because everybody's afraid to talk about a taboo subject. If you watch TV shows like True Blood, what do you see in True Blood? You see a vampire being a female dominatrix. And you see men who have sex with them type of females usually have the best sex. So then when they start dating a younger woman that's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, the sex is always so great because the man has experience. And he went to someone who gave him that level of experience. How do you think Michael Jordan became the greatest basketball player to ever play the game of basketball? He went to someone like the name of Chuck Daly, God rest his soul, rest in peace, the head coach of the Detroit Bad Boy Pistons in the 1980s. And it was the coach who told Michael Jordan, you can become a better basketball player, but you got to learn a better way of playing. Think of them as basketball coaches and football coaches. But in the next video, I'm going to talk about, is it okay or is it not okay to pay for pussy? Because it's been going back and forth on the internet. One group says it's okay, the other group says it's not okay, and people want that question to be answered once and for all. Until next time, peace.